This is what our first day of our online class. Online means through Google Classroom. So now I'm going to start with a new chapter. Already in the last chapter, uh, most of the theory part we finishes. Now we need to do the problems that we will do later. Now I am going to start with a new chapter, which is a simplest chapter, which is called The Human Eye and the Colorful World. So as the name says, here first we are going to study about human eye. You may get confused sometimes why this human eye, that topic, comes in physics instead of biology. Here we are going to study what's the mechanism happening inside human eye. Okay, so we know something related to light is happening. That is what happening inside human eye. So that we are going to study in detail, and this is actually an essay in essay part. So you have to prepare for an essay. Okay, so describe the main parts of human eye, like that you need to study. Okay, so this is the figure. So figure also, how to draw human eye, that also we have to study. And you can see this is what the human eye. So what I am explaining, I already written in the right side. So if you felt any difficulty in my pronunciation, just look at the left side. So you can see the front part of the eye. Now that is what the cornea. Here you can see this bulge part, which is called the cornea. And what is the actual function of this cornea? It is through this cornea light is entering into our eyes through this cornea. So the main part, the first part, like that you can say, and through this part light is entering into our eyes. Now you can see two parts, iris and pupil. So though it is very difficult to locate it in this picture, because small tiny parts are seen in here. Now if you logically, if you are thinking, if you are drawing one eye, we are drawing like this. So the round part you can see inside the eye is what the iris. Okay, inside the iris you can see one another part. In Malayalam we will say it as Krishnamani. That is what the pupil. Okay, so the iris, the hole inside the iris is what the pupil. So iris and pupil, that also you can see here, iris here and the pupil this part. Okay, this lens shape part, like this you can see here, in this shape you can see here. Okay, so the bulge shape, the round shape you can see inside an eye is what the iris, and in iris had a small opening which is called the pupil. Now the duty or the function of the pupil also very important. The function of the pupil is mainly it is this pupil regulate or control the amount of light which is entering into our eyes. Okay, so how many light need to enter into our eyes is decided by this pupil. Okay, so already we studied three part: cornea, iris and pupil. So this it is iris had a small hole which is called pupil, and it is this pupil which decide how much light enter into our eyes. So we've studied all these three parts. Now one of the main important parts in our eyes is what? The ciliary muscle. You can see the muscle shape, muscle like shape here. This is what? The ciliary muscle. So we can see this a convex lens shape here. Okay, so inside the pupil actually one lens is there, that is what the convex lens. So already you understand the lens inside our eyes is what the convex lens. Okay, so it is the convex lens inside the eyes. Now this convex lens you can see here in this structure, and the convex lens is held there with the help of a muscle which is called ciliary muscle. Ciliary muscle have a great role in the parts of human eye, that we will discuss later. So ciliary muscle main function is to hold the lens. Okay, we have to make the lens erect with the help of ciliary muscles. So already once again we can recap: the cornea through which light enters, iris, it is a diaphragm. Diaphragm means it's just for partition, iris, and iris have a opening which is called pupil, and pupil decide the amount of light enter the eye. Ciliary muscle in the pupil, inside the pupil you can see a lens, convex lens, and this lens is held in that position with the help of the ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscle have a very much great role in the parts of, while we are discussing the parts of human eye. Next is what? The retina. Okay, retina means actually retina had a role like a screen. Okay, already we studied if you are placing a lens in between, if you are focusing a lens to a object, at the other side you will get the image. Okay, if you are placing a screen at the other side, we will get the image. So in the place of screen, or the retina had the role of a screen inside the human eye. Okay, so retina and the screen have the same role in getting the image. So image we are getting on the screen if you're doing experiments. So likewise, the retina, on the retina we are getting the image inside our eyes. So retina in the place of screen, or retina we can we can explain as a screen. Okay, so which means we are getting the image on the retina. Now retina consists of two cells, which is rods and cones. These two cells have definite role in the in explaining the human eye. The rods means two cell. The name is one rods, the other cones. Retina consists of two types of cells. The first is rods, the other is cone. So the role of rod is that intensity of light is deciding by the cell called rod, and cone is deciding the color of the light. Okay, so it is mainly this type of question is asking 2 or 3 more questions. So retina have the role of screen, and retina consists of two cells. Rods control the intensity of light, and cone is deciding the color of light. Okay, so that is what the role of retina. Retina two role, one the role of screen, and other in the form of two cell. And the last part you can see here is aqueous humor and vitreous humor. So retina you can see here at this side. So lens you can see here. So if you are placing of the object, if you are looking at the object here, we will get the image at this side on the retina. Now aqueous humor and vitreous humor both are fluids. Okay, so aqueous humor is a fluid here. Here means in between the cornea and the lens. This is the lens and this is the cornea. So in between the lens and the cornea, fluid, there is a fluid, that is what the aqueous humor. And in between the lens and the retina, you can see a fluid which is called the vitreous humor. So here this is the cornea, lens, all you can see here, and here it is the retina. So two types of liquids you can see, at fluids you can see at this side. So here it is aqueous humor and here it is vitreous humor. Now we want, so I told you the ciliary muscle have a great role inside the human eye that we are going to study. So children, while we studied the human lens, convex lens, we already studied. That is, if you are looking at if you are placing the object at different position, we place the object beyond 2f1, at 2f1, between 2f1 and f1. So according to the position of the object is changing, we are getting the image at different position. That we already studied. So the lens means the same type of lens, convex lens. Convex lens is there inside our eyes, and the image of the convex lens we are getting on the screen, which is called retina. And what is the what will be the size of the, or the nature of the images? We are getting real and inverted image. Okay, real and inverted image we are getting on the retina. So sometimes I told you only on the retina. For a normal eye we are getting the image on the retina, but retina means image is getting on the retina. So here from this discussion you may have sometimes a doubt. Whenever, if you are looking at a far away object, if you are looking at a nearby object, then too we are getting the image on the retina. So it's an it's a different concept. What we are studying in the last chapter, just a reverse I am telling here. Am I right? If we are looking at, if we are placing our position, if we are placing our object at different position near the lens, we are getting the image. The image getting position also is different. That we study. But here in this case, here we are placing the object means what we are looking, that is our object. But the always image we are getting on the retina. So this is what, just a reverse sometimes you may think. It's not like that. It is happening. Always image is getting on the retina. That it's correct. But it is happening because of the function of the ciliary muscles. Okay. So whenever, if you are looking at an far away object, we need to decrease the focal length of the object. Then only we will get the image on the retina. Likewise, if you are looking at a nearby object, we need to increase the focal length of that lens. Then only we will get the image on the same retina. So this focal length, changing in the focal length is done with the help of the mechanism of this ciliary muscles. Okay, that is what the ciliary muscles contraction and relaxation. This always, for a normal eye we are getting image on the retina. So what they are doing, they are changing the focal length of the lens at at every time. If you are looking at the far away object, focal length has to be decreased. Okay, so this mechanism is done by our ciliary. So now we can study what is the mechanism happening in the ciliary muscles. So what is the thing that if you are looking at a far away object, the ciliary muscles become relaxed. Relax means it will be very free. Muscle become very free means lens will be like this. It will be thinner. It will be very narrow here in this manner. So for this type of lens, focal length will be decreasing. Okay, if lens is thinner, focal length will be less. Okay, so this is happening what we are looking at a far away object. So what will happen at a nearby object? What will happen because of the functioning of the ciliary muscles? This lens become more thicker. Okay, and so the thicker lens, normally focal length is increasing. Okay, so because of this function, if you are looking at a far away object, ciliary muscles relax, so lens become thinner. As a result, focal length will be decreases. Okay, so we will get the image on the retina. And if you are looking at a nearby object, what we want to do? We want to make the focal length of the lens higher. Okay, so that we are achieving by making the lens thicker. So this contraction and relaxation of the ciliary muscles, because of this action, we are getting image on the retina. Okay, always we are getting for a normal eye on the retina. This function, okay, this contraction and relaxation and the changing of the focal length, this function is called power of accommodation. Okay, power of accommodation. Okay, so contraction and relaxation of ciliary muscles, thereby making our lens thinner, thicker, so that we are getting the image on the retina. And this all function together we call power of accommodation. Actually, what we are changing here, we are changing the focal length of the lens. We want to get the image always on the retina. Okay, if you are looking at a nearby object, if you are looking at a far away object, we want to make the image on the retina with this function, which is called the power of accommodation. Hope today's class is clear to you. You have to prepare for an essay, the parts of human eye.